What are we going to talk about today? What I wanted to do is give you a little bit of information around the extra dimension of proactive, relevant, and personalized engagement that customers want. We looked at customer recognition that in order to receive highly personalized and relevant communications and experiences, they need to provide this concept of increasingly detailed information. So we're going to talk about the value of reciprocity and what it means for us, and then pose the question of what is it really going to mean for you? And for us as an organization, trust is paramount to everything that we do. So I want to talk about how trust affects this level of engagement and how customers today define that elements of trust. So before I begin, excuse me, on that, I want to just talk about the evolution of communications and the evolution of customer-centric engagements. So as Ernan so eloquently put earlier, we first, as marketers, started out with this spray and pray, where we just assumed everybody wanted to hear what we had to say, and we'd throw it out there and hope that something stuck. But that has moved into more sophisticated ways of targeting customers. And so the degree of value has increased as we started to target customers in groups and in certain sub-segments. But that wasn't enough. We needed to really go into, and we've learned that data-driven activities where we have the integrated data, the customer channels understood, and the technology afforded to us will have a substantially higher value than that. But that it doesn't end there. And what we're talking about and the way Norton is moving is to this truly conversational, and it has to be two-way. It's funny because there's something I learned when I was, I don't know, 6, 7 years old from my mother and my grandmother saying, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. You should use them in relative proportion. The question that I have today as a marketer is, am I really doing that? Have I learned that lesson? And unfortunately, for us as marketers today, we typically don't. We do the opposite. So the question that first intrigued me was, what is the value of permission? And in a recent study back in 2011, over 40% of respondents said that they want to be rewarded in some fashion for sharing their personal data. I found this to be extremely intriguing. 40% of the customers, I'm sure it's more than that, but those that responded said that they expect and they wanted some level of reciprocity. In my mind, and what we've learned is it's no longer a nice to have. Customers expect that you will obtain their permission, and they expect that before you use their information. So a little bit about Norton. You probably know some of this information, so I'll go through this quickly, but we protect the stuff that matters to consumers, whether it's your photos, whether it's your computer, whether it's your personal identity. So this is extremely important to us. We have seen the market evolve. 10 years ago, it was about transactional interactions with customers. It's no longer the case. And if we want to continue our growth and if we want to continue being a relevant security provider for our customers, we have to move in this direction. And that's what we're trying to do, and that was the instigation for the research that we did.